good.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We're live poolside at the beautiful Villa Roma Resort for another edition of All Point Sports, brought to you by Edge Remodeling, Franklin Square, Long Island. Eddie Edge, fully insured. Eddie Edge. Stephen J with us today. Bobby Blackjack. It's a beautiful day in Callicoon, New York, and we're going to talk some football, right, guys?
It is too beautiful here at the Villa Roma. I can't think of a better place to be on a beautiful, sunny, humid Labor Day week than in a clam bar in the middle of the pool. I don't know if it's the clams or the people that's walking around, Doc, but this is a nice little setup that we have here. This is beautiful. We're at clam bar. It's making me a little hungry, but we're here to shell out. Not just clams, we're going to shell out week one picks, Doc Holiday.
Week one picks.
We made it through a horrible summer of just...
Ironically, Steve, not to interrupt you, ironically, the best week of the summer, week 35, which is technically off the grid, right, Doc, so to speak?
Off the
grid.
It's
not the Big Ten. Right?
Everybody said the summer's over. It's slow. It's slowed down. Let me tell you, it's packed this week at the Villa Roma. We have over 50 timeshare exchanges from Interval International, plus our regular Week 35 guests. And the show was sold out last night in Marty's Lounge for a tribute to the troops. Couldn't fit another person in there, right, Stephen J?
It was wall to wall.
And football this week starts off on Thursday night. What's the matchup, Stephen J?
Yeah, that's right. That's what I was getting to for week one matchup. Someone interrupted me. But week one, NFL football, we made it through a horrible summer. All right, didn't know if I could make it through. We made it through a horrible summer of baseball. If you're a Mets and Yankee fan, you're just dying to have the NFL season come up. And not only do we have football, we have good football now, Doc. We have two teams, one that saw the playoffs and is looking like they're going to only improve in one New York Giants team, but the Jets, who really won the NFL offseason. And, you know, after a poor Knicks loss in the spring in the playoffs, we thought that maybe the Yankees would pick us up. We thought maybe Stevie Cohen's deep pockets for the Mets would pick us up to make it an enjoyable summer. And really, even before the 4th of July, we knew that both teams were done and they were out of it. So just a downward spiral in baseball. We're trending upwards. We got NFL football, Doc. We got a whole lot to talk about. We are T-minus 24 hours from the first kickoff of the NFL season. That, of course, is with the Lions and the defending champions, Kansas City Chiefs. But we got to start off, I guess, talking about our two New York teams. We got the Jets and the Bills on Monday night. Two New York games on primetime, too. I mean, that's very rare when you get both the Jets and the Giants on primetime. I can't remember the last time that happened.
Also more rare, both teams were actually home the same weekend.
And I thought the Jets were at Buffalo week one.
Are they in Buffalo?
The Jets are in.
They're in New
They're
York.
They're at home Monday night?
They'll be in New York, that's for sure.
Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. I thought I saw Monday night home.
It might be versus the Jets. We'll pull up the schedule. But Jets and Bills week one on Monday Night Football. They are at the MetLife Stadium for both games. I knew they were playing New York. That means that they turn the blue into green, and we just 24 hours turnaround. Hopefully, we can end up with two New York victories. But we'll start off on Sunday night with Big Blue against Jerry's crew in Jerry World, or coming from Jerry World to New York. And Giants and Cowboys, 3.5 right now is the spread for the Giants. Getting 3.5.
Getting 3.5 at home, Stephen J.
They are. So that means that Giants are underdogs in their own building. We're two teams that both made the playoffs. They both won their opening matchups of the playoffs last year, and they lost in the second round. They both won on the road, too, which is pretty impressive. But the Giants and the Cowboys, two teams kind of with a little bit of turnover. The Cowboys, of course, losing Zeke Elliott, losing their offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore. They turned play calling over now to Brian Schottenheimer and their head coach, Mike McCarthy. For the Giants, more positives in the additions. The Giants had a very good offseason. They had a decent draft. Free agency was, some good pieces hit on free agency. They signed Daniel Jones. It seems like, for the most part, they worked out a contract with Saquon Barkley. Two teams that were very busy during the NFL offseason and call me crazy. But I'm actually kind of feeling the Giants week 1, 3.5-point dogs. Am I wrong on that?
I say the Giants will do quite well at home this year, and look for their record at home this year. I say take the 3.5 with the Giants. Don't bet the house. It's week 1. Anything could happen. But I just go back to a couple of college games I just watched over the past few days, and Duke, unbelievable against Clemson. Tried to give the game away, and blew them out. A ranked team on opening day. So I say the Giants fans will go in strong. There'll be some great tailgating going on, some great food from Peter's Meat Market, Arthur Avenue's favorite meeting place, and take the Giants in 3.5 on Sunday night.
And real quick, I'll mention this as well. The Giants have restructured Daniel Jones' contract to free up about $7 million in cap space, with some early speculation that could be going to Mike Evans. I read that a few times, but we'll see.
It is a possibility. I believe that they were over the cap. This could just be a way to get under the cap for the season. But definitely signing Daniel Jones in the offseason and then restructuring his contract already. Very, very interesting on what could happen there. The Giants with some draft capital here, so keep an eye with Mike Evans and just the whole wide receivers room for the Giants. We're talking about it. Both teams with pretty good offensive firepower. Of course, you have Dak Prescott and the Cowboys. Mike McCarthy with the play calling, which I'll hit on in a little bit, which could be worrisome for the Cowboys week 1 with a brand new play caller. But Cowboys offense, it's not an overreaction to say it's probably one of the better Cowboys rosters in the last 10, 12 years. And going back to the early Tony Romo days, maybe with like the Packers or the Catch, that's how good this Cowboys team is. And of course, everyone always talks about the Cowboys. Cowboys are the most, most ultra-hyped team in sports. That's all people talk about. The number one brand in sports, really, next to the Yankees, are the Dallas Cowboys. And somehow I feel like they're being just a little bit underrated this year. I think that's just because of all the misfortune and kind of the underachieving that they've had. So the Cowboys, they come in with Dak Prescott, who after a pretty bad year last year, leading the league, 8 interceptions. Now they come out with the new backfield with Tony Pollard, not Ezekiel Elliott, which is only an upgrade. A lot of people think that losing Ezekiel Elliott is a downgrade. Pollard is a much more explosive back, and the Cowboys probably have the most rotational and plug-and-play offensive line in the league. They did play very well last year. And then with their weapons, they did lose Dalton Schultz to tight end. They have Brandon Cooks, CeeDee Lamb, and Michael Gallup. This is an offense that is ready to roll for the Dallas Cowboys. But yet the Giants on the defensive side, Doc, they looked pretty good last year.
Oh, yeah.
But here's one issue with Dallas' offense. Backup running back. Bunch of nobodies and what could be a really dynamic 5'6" dynamo. But they really don't have any backups as far as running backs proven right now. That could come back to haunt them.
And Elliott is very injury prone, as proven last year. He likes to run on some option plays, and he's very susceptible. Running in the NFL is a tough game.
By the way, Vin Greco, afternoon, gentlemen. Vin Greco checking in.
From Lancaster, Pennsylvania, home of Zook's famous Popeyes. When you're in Lancaster, stop by Zook's.
Vin Greco is always on it. I mean, he's always on top of all point sports. We appreciate Vin Greco. Always great to see him. We hope to see him soon here. He's familiar, right? He was at the Clam Bar. We saw Vin Greco all the time here around the pool area. And if you're just joining us now, that's where we are. We're talking football. Beautiful Villa Romo Resort. Right after us, Bobby will still be streaming. And we'll have Katrina Love singing on Blackjack TV. So make sure you keep it up after All Point Sports. But
Katrina's back to
football. Just for a special here at the pool. I know it's tough to get her away from here, but with the Giants on the defensive side, going offense, defense, Giants defense under Wake Martindale last year was really a great defense. They improved mightily from the year before. Wake Martindale, Baltimore Ravens 2 years ago, some really blitz-heavy defense that they're going to institute. So really, Dak Prescott, who was very poor in decision making last year. Now the Giants are going to throw everything they have at Dak Prescott. So how is Dak going to react to that? Reacted pretty well last year. The Giants were 0-2 against the Cowboys, beating them a third time in a row. And they have to remember this, Doc. Week one is the wild, wild west in the NFL. Everyone likes to play it safe. Everyone likes to go with playoff teams. Last year, this team was bad. This team won. They treated like week 19, week one. They just treat it like a continuation of last year. Week one, anything can happen. Is the craziest week in the NFL in terms of gambling and what you can win and what you don't win. So, Giants 3.5 is probably one of the more safer bets. We can talk about some other, deep dive, more sleeper picks. But for the Giants at 3.5, I think Vegas kind of knows something here. We're a Giants team that's a little underrated at home. A Cowboys team on prime time. A lot of people might be feeling the Cowboys, but I think they. Offense from California, not as creative. They're going to really emphasize running the ball. The Giants are going to look to stop the run first. You really force Dak Prescott to make those bad decisions he made last year.
I say it comes down to injuries, and turnovers. Injuries and turnovers. Watch for them in Week 1. Cowboys, Giants.
One X factor for the Cowboys this season I love. I draft him in both of my fantasy leagues. Number 2 receiver, Brandon Cooks. They never had a real dynamic number 2 wide receiver in a couple of years now, since Amari Cooper had CeeDee Lamb as a rookie. So watch for Brandon Cooks, a very, very underrated star wide receiver, now taking the second fiddle and should do big things for the Cowboys offense.
This Cowboys offense is really looking good, especially if they can get their rookie tight ends in swing and get them the ball early. This is a very well-rounded Cowboys offense. Now, the only thing that really can get in this Cowboys way is Mike McCarthy. Ryan Schottenheimer, who is a name in the NFL, he's built a lot of teams, but sometimes the play caller, that's not too good if you've been around a long time with many different teams. That shows that teams are kind of lining it up later and they think that they can do better. So, with Schottenheimer and McCarthy, as explosive as this offense is, it scares me that maybe this might be a little bit of a antiquated offense. Is that the right way to put it? It's a possibility. McCarthy obviously did not get along with Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. One of the reasons why they let him go and brought in a younger Matt LaFleur, better play caller for sure. It's a more explosive style of offense. So with 2 older offensive coordinators, how creative is this Dallas offense going to be in terms of previous years? Sometimes that's what helps tell them more under the microscope. Maybe he's trying to get a little too cute. So for the Cowboys against this Giants team, Giants probably have their best odds against the Cowboys in Week 1 instead of a later matchup. Again, the Giants were 0-2 against the Cowboys last year, but it's a new year, Doc Holland.
New year. I don't even take the points. I go Giants with Stephen J on the money line. And worst comes to worst, Giants on week 1 take a play right out of the playbook of the New York Yankees and get blown out by the Cowboys. But I just don't see that happening. Following along with the New York terrible summer of baseball.
Better now.
Better now for sure. They bring up the young guys, and we see some hopefuls in there. The hopeful.
By the way, Vin Greco, I bleed Giant Blue. I'm looking forward to see this Lions team as well, as they seem to be very explosive. So we'll get to the Lions in a few minutes. That's the game tomorrow night, which had a major news yesterday with Travis Kelce. But we'll get to that game in a few minutes.
Transition to that right now as we wrap it up for the Giants and the Cowboys. So it sounds like Doc Holliday are taking the Giants. Now, week 1, usually the Cowboys are always on Sunday Night Football week 1. That's just a given. Between the Giants and kind of their new offensive toys, if you will, they kind of revamped the offensive line a little bit. They brought in a speedy wide receiver. They brought in Darren Waller. I feel like Brian Dable's going to have some fun week 1 and really get the ball rolling quick.
Fun week 1.
Remember last year, week 1, Brian Dable rolled the dice early, and that was really what brought them into the playoffs. I mean, they got in by the skin of their teeth in the playoffs. Giants, who obviously overachieved last year. But week 1 against the Titans, who could forget that? Going for 2 at the end of the game, winning it all. That really solidified Brian Daboll's legacy pretty early on for this Giants team in terms of, all right, this is a coach that's going to be aggressive. This is a team that's going to be driven by analytics. This is a team that's going to go for the win. They're not going to play it safe and conservative. Like the other guy on the sideline, Mike McCarthy, who's been really dubbed more conservative, not really a gambler. And Brian Dable, are we going to see fireworks 2.0 in this week 1 as compared to last year? Giants fans are getting a little too over the top, maybe. I mean, we love Vin Greco. We love him that he bleeds Giant Blue. Not him, but some of the Giant fans, maybe getting a little bit above their skis. It's a very tough division. I try to find reasons not to root for the Giants. I don't know what it is. I have nothing against them. Maybe it's just the fans a little bit. But Giants, you're gonna find me. Not gonna find me making case for the Giants too often. But I think week 1, Doc Holliday and I are going with the money line, getting 3.5 points. It's Sunday Night Football. Anything can happen on NBC.
Stephen J., let's just segue right to the contest, the new contest, sponsored by our own show, All Point Sports. And tell them about it, Stephen J. It'll start not for Thursday night's game, but for Sunday night's week 1, Sunday's games. It'll start it's a knockout tournament, right, Stephen J.? And the prize is a free vacation, midweek stay, 3-day, 2-night, given away by the beautiful Villa Roma Resort. So this is a big prize. And tell them about the contest, Stephen J.
This is the Villa Roma knockout pool, correct, Doc Holliday?
Yes.
A lot of people, if you work, at a cubicle in an office, or if you're in a big work environment, everyone knows the horrors and just the awful mental anguish that you go through in a knockout pool, where
especially week 1.
A winner, especially week 1, like we just said, which is the most difficult. And you can pick a team that a lot of people wouldn't pick, and that could help you, or that could just immediately close the door for your season. But pick 'em pool. Obviously, without the Thursday opening night game on Sunday and Monday, you can pick, any one team that you want. Pick one team that you think is going to win a matchup. So if I pick the Jets beating the Bills, the Jets are my week 1 knockout team. If the Jets win, I go on to the next round. But if the Jets lose, I'm out of the knockout pool. So it's basically just a survivor style of knockout. And really, it's tough to get all 16 weeks for just one team. So we might have a winner by week 8 or 9 sometimes.
I have a question for you guys.
Sure.
Are you allowed to use the team only once?
That's usually how knockout pools work, and I believe that's what we're going to do this year.
Okay.
Doc Holliday are still going over the rules with it. Right now,
and all the rules will be posted.
A lot of people for the Villa Roma knockout pool.
And for the free vacation, and more than the vacation, for bragging rights. This is for bragging rights, folks, of the first knockout, the Villa Roma knockout pool. And again, you just pick the lock of the week. That's all you got to do. But you can only use that team once. So pick wisely and look at your matchups going forward and kind of play it like a pool game. That's the way I play it. As I want my next shot. I want to be looking at my next shot even though before I pick my first pick. I want to be looking forward.
No spread, Vic says? No spread? No, straight out winner, right?
Straight out winner. No spread.
We're still trying to find a pick-em platform. Obviously, different knockout pools kind of have different platforms for who would win, who would cover, if we do covers. So, we'll let that out at the end of the week, and I'm sure we'll get a lot of people through the Villanova knockout pool. That's for sure.
And here's a little hint. If you're new to this, Doc's wearing red today. Whoever's playing the Cardinals, that's who you want to pick.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Until they win a game. That's how I would do it. One more segue, Doc. Vic mentioned this. Didn't mention this. He mentioned the Giants offense with maybe a couple of quick slants to Jalen Hyatt. You're a betting guy. Would you bet Jalen Hyatt score a touchdown Sunday?
I would. I think it's an option for the Giants, and you have an aggressive coach. So I like Jalen Hyatt, and I think they put him into the offense for more than just one play. I think he has several plays lined up to come the week.
Very rarely will you find a time when Doc Holliday and I agree on something here. And I'll probably end up eating my words later because I can see myself saying that Jalen Hyatt won't be as big a factor as we think in week one, and then he'll end up going off. But I think for a young wide receiver, it's going to be tough to kind of get going right out of the gate week one for a wide receiver. Sometimes you want to get the young wide receiver, or just really any rookie for that matter, kind of a pitch count, get them out there, just kind of warm up, get through the whole field of it, learn what it's like in a whole game. I mean, Justin Jefferson, who's the best wide receiver in the NFL, he didn't score a touchdown until like week 4 his rookie year. So, will they baby Hyatt a little bit? Maybe, maybe not. Brian Dable is a very aggressive coach. They can have him. They're having line up against Sauce Gardner in the preseason. So anything goes for this Giants head coaching staff. They obviously know what they're doing. But I think with just the different rotational pieces that they have, they don't have a true number one wide receiver, but they have a lot of different wide receivers who they can mix and match and toss in. I'm going to say week 1, Hyatt won't be as big a factor. They'll get him the ball, though. They want to make sure that he gets some plays in there. They'll have a couple scripted for him. But I think week 1, having him go for a whole large sum, maybe not wise to maybe start him on your fantasy team, let's say, for week 1.
I don't know about that, Stephen J. I just disagree in the fact that there's more money than ever in the NFL. So players are driven by money and performance, pay for performance. So if you're given the shot, you're going to go all out because this means your future. This means setting up your legacy, just like the coach did last year when he went for the 2-point conversion. I see this Hyatt, you're just excelling to be the main player in New York. It's a feel-good story just waiting to happen, Jay. Driven by money.
Strong words from Doc Holliday.
Just like the one player, he said, all I want to do is feed my family. I want to take care of my family. So how do you do that? You perform. Pay for performance.
I'm having a bit of a camera issue here, guys. I don't know if it's because of the heat. Maybe the camera's overheating, but we're having a little bit of an issue. I'm going to switch this to audio only for a moment. We're still continuing the show, but no one's able to see us.
That's fine because I wouldn't really consider this a family show at the pool. There are a lot of people walking around topless that look like red kids, and that's just the guys that are walking around here. Anyway, we're going to go ahead.
Uh-oh. You heard it.
She didn't hear our picks. That's
From a Cowboy fan. A rare Cowboy fan here at the Villa Roma.
You don't find that too often. As we switch ahead, going audio only now, Doc. So really, we couldn't,
My
loosen up
shirt
a
is
bit.
off.
Yep.
So let's go right through them, Stephen J.
All right. I say,
Panthers, Falcons.
yeah, this is
Panthers at Falcons.
week number 1, Panthers, Falcons. This is an odd one for me because these are two quarterbacks that haven't played a snap in the NFL. Desmond Ridder and Bryce Young. A quarterback winning week 1, a rookie quarterback winning week 1. It's very difficult to do. Now, these are two quarterbacks that haven't won in week 1 ever. But Desmond Ridder rode on the bench last year, learned under Marcus Mariota, got the start at the end of the year. Didn't really set the world on fire. Panthers under their newer team in Frank Reich. Two very good veteran offensive head coaches at the helm. Panthers at Falcons, and they're in Atlanta, I believe, Doc.
In Atlanta, and Atlanta 3.5 point
Atlanta getting
favorites.
3.5.
We're back live. We're back live.
Panthers
Doc
getting
Holliday
3.5.
just getting his shirt on. You missed it. Katrina stopped by. He said hello. He had people serving his drinks. You guys didn't see it. But in Atlanta, I think I'm going to stick with Arthur Smith. Frank Reich. Now, I can see this game ending with Frank Reich rolling the dice. Frank Reich has been an aggressive head coach at times. But I think week 1, it's just smart if you're a gambling man to look at the numbers and say, rookie quarterbacks, week 1, not very good stats. So week number 1, we're going to go with the Falcons, 3.5 over Bryce Young.
Give
and the
him
Panthers,
3.5.
Given 3.5 to Bryce Young. Just a rookie quarterback, week 1. The numbers don't add up. So we'll go with Desmond Ridder. It's going to be an interesting division, that NFC South.
Always.
All teams are basically rebuilding or retooling at this time.
This could be like a 2009 NFC West where you have a losing record for the winning team. But there's a team in there that I think could be much better than what people think. We'll hit that team right along with it. So I'm going to take the Falcons over the Panthers week 1.
I go Falcons as well. My son John, JG the kid, not with us today from South Dakota, but big Falcons fan. And the Falcons rebuilding for sure. Without the franchise quarterback, he was gone last year. Who are we talking about? Matt Ryan. Tough to watch. Tough to watch Matt Ryan, QB lately. I don't know if he's still. I doubt he's playing this year somewhere. But
Broadcast booth.
for Matt Ryan, very knowledgeable. We wish you the best, Matt. But the last few seasons, rough to watch.
Friend of the show, right? Matt Ryan?
Matt Ryan, friend of the show.
The Falcons team, really the key for them. They hate to put all the team success on a rookie. But really, this team's going to go as far as Bijan Robinson takes up. You have no idea what Desmond Ridder brings to the table. So, Bijan Robinson, you don't draft a running back 8th overall, especially with what we've seen with running backs this offseason. You don't draft a running back 8th overall unless you think that he's going to be a blue chip prospect who's going to run that offense.
Mr. Franchise.
Or if you want to run like the Titans did for a couple years with Derrick Henry.
With Arthur Smith.
I mean, they had a
from Tennessee.
Tyler Algier last year, ran for 1,000 yards as a rookie. And he can't be too happy right now, but Bijan Robinson is supposed to be one of those once-in-a-lifetime talents. Vin Greco, don't sell the Falcons short. Doc, I believe your son right now, the reason why he's not on the show today, he's driving to Nebraska for the Colorado-Nebraska game, I believe.
Really? Colorado, Nebraska.
He seems to be driving. He's a driver now. He's driving all over the world.
He was just at the Notre Dame game over the weekend. Notre Dame 2-0. Took the family. John saw the pictures. What a great event. You're making some memories that will just definitely last a lifetime. He's going up to see one of his favorite players, Deion Sanders, coaching the Colorado big win, 3 touchdown underdogs, and won by 3. The defense is a little susceptible, Colorado, but they're pumped up, and they're going to Nebraska, playing them at noon in Nebraska. What could be better?
Everyone's going to be betting Colorado beating Nebraska. I'm not saying Colorado's not going to beat Nebraska. But I think this line could be a little skewed. I think people are going to be buying into the Colorado hype a lot. Week 2, you're going to find out if Colorado is going to be, but are they going to kind of buy into it? Or is this where they might have been a little bit distracted?
Actually, it's Colorado. My bad. Game's in Colorado.
The game is in Colorado
Games
against
in Colorado?
That's what I see here. Yeah.
is at home, and the home team, I believe tickets, the lowest ticket price Colorado game for this week is $360. So they're really cashing in on Coach Prime.
Not only that.
Nebraska could maybe cover, I think. I think a lot of people are going to be smashing that Colorado line and be saying, give us Colorado, we're going to give Nebraska at the beginning at least.
In
3
Colorado,
touchdowns.
Bobby, I stand corrected. Colorado,
I said it first.
Colorado ranked number 22. Unbelievable.
And not only that, Steve, Prime's his son's the quarterback. All of a sudden, he's on mock drafts now. After one game in Colorado, you guys being mock drafted in the first round now. Crazy! What a turn of events in 1 week, 2 weeks.
I think we could say in college for an extra year. I think it's possible to make them the number 1 overall pick. That's not too crazy to say, especially with all the quarterbacks coming in this year. There are at least 5 or 6 number 1 quarterbacks coming into the 2024 draft. So, but Sanders stay in Colorado 1 more year. Maybe go for a Heisman next year, maybe even a title next year. Maybe work on becoming that number 1 pick in 2 years. If you know he's going to be the number 1 pick this year, that'll be Caleb Williams. But that Colorado team, we have a line on that game, Doc. For Colorado versus Nebraska, I'd have to imagine that Colorado's giving Nebraska at least
-3.
-3.
-3. So it's
Wow.
a dead even.
A lot of people are going to be betting that Colorado line. I would go Nebraska. Stephen J. is what I'm
At home, Nebraska.
Nebraska. This is a very good Colorado team. I think that they will win, a very respectable amount of games for a new regime under year 1. But
And don't forget, 2 rookie coaches too.
But in Colorado, Stephen J.,
Nebraska versus Matt Rule.
that stadium, and I'll try to see if I can see John and the family out there, and the kids and the wife out there in the stadium. It's going to be tough because there's going to be thousands. How many thousands? 80,000 people.
There's a lot of people.
Unbelievable. And they're pumped up right now. They're behind Deion Sanders 150%. And he is a mentor to these young athletes who are already, their life has changed in Colorado with that week 1 win. Things are turned around in Colorado.
And Deion Sanders is the host of the college football town. He's a bigger name right now in college football than a Nick Saban, than a Kirby Smart. That's not a hyperbole. This is
Brian Kelly.
college football is Deion Sanders right now. So on Saturday, it'll be very interesting in Colorado. Doc Holliday, believe it or not, we only got 15 minutes left before we got to run where?
Bingo.
We got a super jackpot bingo. You can play along with us at bingo online, right? You can play along with us playing bingo.
Sounds great.
You could. Love to get on that. But Doc Holliday, I think we got to go into overall.
Let's go through a quick all the games. A quick pick for all the games.
Well,
That'll be quick.
let's just before we go into the quick pick, Bobby, let's just go to the premier matchup Monday night. Jets, Buffalo in New York. Buffalo, New York. And this is a tough one. This is an anticipation game.
Nope, it's in MetLife.
MetLife. Why am I dyslexic today? I got Colorado in Nebraska, which is reversed, and it's at MetLife Stadium. So, Stephen J., does that make a difference? Week 1, Jets, the great defense last year. They built up in the offseason, and they add who? One of the – I won't say he's the best quarterback in the last 5 years, but he's one of the top guys. Aaron Rodgers, the big franchise guy in Green Bay and in New York now. Hopeful things for the Jets, Stephen J. What do you think about the Jets?
Hopeful things. You asked about home field advantage. You're going up against the Buffalo Bills team. If you're in Buffalo, man, that is a very tough environment for any opposing team going into Buffalo. It's going to be tough. They jump through tables. They set themselves on fire. They do whatever they want to do in Buffalo. Buffalo Bills fans are wild. They do travel well, and MetLife, that's the only stadium where a New York team plays that doesn't play in New York. They're in New Jersey, obviously. So Buffalo Bills fans travel well, but this stadium is going to be rocking. Fireman Ed is going to be there. The New York Jets fans
9/11.
who are going to have on September 11th, you couldn't set it up any better on Monday night with the whole world watching. Now that Tom Brady is out of the picture, obviously the oldest player in the NFL, but also the most storied player in the NFL the last couple of years in Aaron Rodgers, whether it's good or bad. Just MetLife Stadium, Doc, is going to be something that we haven't seen in 12, 13 years. I mean, going back to the Jets haven't had a playoff home victory in a while, but just this team, you can even say, the Jets beating the Patriots in 2015. That was a big stadium win where everyone was going crazy. That was the last time they ever beat the Patriots, by the way. But MetLife is going to be just on a different level. So that could give the Jets fans an extra level of a competitive edge. But as far as football is concerned, the Bills were coming off a very strange postseason and kind of a strange offseason as well. What's going on with Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen? Looks like they're just trying to make it last. They're just kind of going through the motions. This Buffalo Bills team, every year they seem like they're the favorite. They're the hot ticket. I've got some fans checking in with us here at the Forum at the pool. It seems like the Bills are always a lot of people's picks for the Super Bowl.
My pick this year.
Everyone's pick for the MVP. But I feel like that loss against the against the Cincinnati Bengals last year kind of showed them their place in the AFC. Where even though everyone wants to put them at the top of the AFC, they want to put them right in the Super Bowl. They're the third best team in the AFC, and that's before a very good Jets defense and an Aaron Rodgers team. So the Bills right now, who are obviously a less better team than the Chiefs and the Bengals, coming to a very odd year. This could be kind of the last dance for this Buffalo Bills team as they're getting a little bit older. The offensive side, Stephon Diggs, what holds up for him? The offensive line is always kind of a question mark. You don't know who the Bills' number 2 wide receiver is. You don't know what's going to happen with
Davis,
Cook, the running back. And the defensive side, they're getting a little bit older. So when does change start to come for the Buffalo Bills? Have they reached their apex? Did they hit it 2 years ago? Week 1, obviously, it's a long year. But I think for this Jets team, new quarterback, new offensive coordinator, it's going to be tough for them to get on the level with the Buffalo Bills. Bills obviously have the Jets number, even though they had an impressive win week 7 last year, I believe, or it was week 9 against the Bills, going right into the bye. The Jets with a beautiful win over the Bills. Bills have had the Jets number, but the Jets played them close last year. That's a credit to Josh Allen and what he didn't do against this Jets defense. My head is telling me that you have to bet the Bills on this one, just because Josh Allen in his second year with Ken Dorsey. Obviously, they do have the head coach. They have the head coaching advantage. Roster-wise, Buffalo has been there, done that. They played in a lot more competitive games where they can grind it out in prime time on Monday night. But screw it. We're going with the New York Jets. I'm going with my New York Jets. This is essentially a pick'em game. This line's 2.5, 1.5, whatever sport platform you look at. Some has it at pick'em, some has it at 2.5. The Jets are the underdog by at least a point or two. Doc Holliday, I got to go with the Jets. Everything's telling me to not go with the Jets, but I just feel like on Monday night, my card as a Jet fan, why can't I say that the Jets are going to win finally on prime time? That's where Stephen J is going.
I go Jets.
Crazy, Doc Holliday. You need to sedate me right now. Am I talking crazy?
You're not talking crazy, Stephen J. The Jets. Last year, the New York Jets, the season ticket holders, they couldn't give away their tickets. That's how bad the Jets were. Even though they had the good defense, no quarterback, and susceptible to injuries. Mike White, dynamite quarterback. I love Mike White. Now he's in Miami, where he could do big things. Again, barring some injuries. Unbelievable. So you got to go Jets here. The hype is up on Aaron Rodgers. He's going to light them up week 1. He's going to take Buffalo and just trash Buffalo. Send him back to Buffalo crying.
Steve, you know what's crazy, Steve? Mike White could be in the pool right now. And Doc wouldn't even know it. Here's my take on the game real quick. I have Buffalo go to the Super Bowl, getting their first championship, but I do see them losing this game 9-11 Monday night. A game that should have been Giants versus Jets. They are playing this year. They should have played this game on 9-11, with all the, we have to go there, but you know what I'm talking about. It should have been Giants, Jets, 9-11 Monday night game.
Giants. And that would be
What a day that is. It's a day, it's a bittersweet day, of course, as we remember those that paid the ultimate sacrifice. It starts out here at Villaroma Resort, 9/11 in the morning with the vigil, the annual vigil with Joy and myself and all the guests here at Villaroma. Toughest day to be on vacation. And then you travel right to the Liberty Library for trivia. There's a day show, tribute to Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers. And they'll be here on Monday and Tuesday. Day show starting at 2 o'clock. And, of course, the game at night. What a day.
Will that be the headliner on Monday, Doc? Will that be in Marty's Lounge? The Jets versus Bills Monday night? Will that be on the big screen headliner of Marty's? Or are we going to have to go to the mezzanine to watch that?
We may have to go to the mezzanine. There might be a show in Marty's Lounge that night. But we'll keep everybody tuned in with the happenings. And, of course, I'll put it all over the internet.
Bobby's actually going to be hosting that Monday night show, so that way Doc and I will be glued to the Jets versus Bills game.
I'll be live from my patio Monday night.
Thank you, Bobby, for taking over for that and hosting the show on Monday night, so Doc and I can enjoy the Jets versus the Bills. Everything's telling me to bet the Bills just because week one, they played a very good game against the Rams last year in week one. They came out firing on all cylinders. Obviously, the wheels started to kind of fall off towards the end of the year. What kind of Buffalo Bills team are they going to be?
I think, Stephen J., on Monday night, September 11th, we should just go live, All Point Sports, during the game, and then give our analysis during the game. Forget the announcers Monday night. We'll be announcing the game.
We'll get a load of this, guys. On Search Sports, we do have Los Bills coming back this year, a Bills-centric show. Maybe we can get one or two of those guys to come on, do a quick little halftime recap.
Maybe
or a
the next
post-game
day,
recap.
After we beat the Bills at MetLife, we'll have those guys, the Bills.
See those sorry saps here right at the pool. They'll be drowning in their tears. And, man, the life of a Bills fan, probably more difficult than the life of a Jets fan, Doc. I can't remember the last time that
oh, my gosh.
They won the Super Bowl. That's right. They didn't win the Super Bowl.
They didn't win the Super Bowl. And the field goal was wide right. Was it, Stephen, or wide left? It was wide. Chuck Norwood was his name. I feel bad for the guy.
Norwood.
Household name nowadays.
Household name, like a Billy Buckner. Under the legs. New York Mets.
We got the yips. That's what it was. So Doc Holly and I, looks like we're both in agreement. Looks like we're going New York teams week one.
New York.
They're going up against two juggernauts. The Jets weren't given a gift at all week one. Obviously, the Jets are going to be one of the most viewed teams on prime time this year, so that means that they're only going to have even more difficult games. Giants, who had a kind of a cupcake schedule last year, fairly easy. Obviously, those division games are probably the toughest games that they play in terms of last year. But the Giants going through both two division games, and really, obviously, as we all know in the NFL, that division games, if you have a winning record against your division, you're making the playoffs. And that was something that didn't really help the Giants. The Giants 0-2 against the Cowboys. I don't know if they even beat the Eagles last year, so they got a lot of wins that were in their division. The Giants need to kind of take that next step, playing the NFC East at their division. Same goes for the Jets. Obviously, Belichick and the Patriots always throw the Jets fits. You have the Miami Dolphins, who are a high-flying, explosive offense, bringing some experience on the defensive side, and then Buffalo Bills, who are rightfully so the leader in the clubhouse in terms of the AFC East. The Jets starting off with a statement win, and the Giants, for that matter, against division rivals, both on prime time. The best way to start out a season. That's how you get the ball rolling. Obviously, teams that start out 0-2, 0-3, playoff odds just sink down the drain. Starting off hot is what the Jets really haven't been used to, Doc. And obviously, they started out 6-3, but winning an opener, very tough for a Jet fan. You didn't get it last year with the Baltimore Ravens. And the Giants, obviously, fireworks last year, week one. Jets starting off week 1 on 9/11 at home with a week 1 victory. All unheard stuff. Good quarterback, prime time game, week 1 win. Just unknown territory for Jets fans. How are they going to handle that all throughout the season? It's going to be something that we're going to have to watch.
A couple of Giant fans checking in. Our friend Scotty from New Mexico, and Steven's favorite partner in the activities department, Noah Bennett, checking in.
Noah
Giants
Bennett.
all the way.
King Noah, the pickleball expert.
A couple of Giant fans checking
Noah
in.
will be with us for
Bingo.
Bingo will be inside. Correct, Doc?
Inside.
Tomorrow, though.
Too hot right now outside. So let's go inside for bingo in the AC. So let's go quick picks right now with the three of us, Bobby, Stephen J, and myself. And we'll roll back the tape next week and see who did the best. So let's go with
Official picks right now. I couldn't change my mind.
Okay.
Start tomorrow night.
So first picks, we already have. So Bobby, Panthers, Falcons.
Panthers, Falcons. I'm going with the Falcons.
Okay. Texas at the Ravens, and the Ravens given 10. Stephen J.
These are the Houston Texans. You said the Texans versus the Ravens?
Yes.
My mind wants to tell me the Texans just because that's such a weird line. Lamar Jackson in his first game back, are they going to be easy with him? You know, this Texans team might be kind of a little bit better. I'm going to go with the Texans getting a large amount of 10.
Bobby?
I got Lamar Jackson in my one league as my starting quarterback, Ravens.
And I go with the Ravens here, the new resurged Ravens. Unless Jackson goes down with an injury.
Another Giants fan, my cousin Billy. What's up, Bill?
What's up,
Another
Billy?
Giants fan.
Loser.
All right, quick pick. Bobby, Bengals, Browns, getting 2.5 at home.
With the iffy status of Joe Burrow and his injury, I think the Browns might upset here.
I like the Browns here, Stephen J. Who do you like?
Give me the Bengals.
Jaguars at Colts.
Wow.
Getting 5.
I think Jaguars are a sexy team that people are picking on. Big Bird, Trevor Lawrence as MVP. They got Calvin Ridley coming back after a suspension. There's big things down there in Jacksonville. Maybe the stadium will get half full this year with a decent team. Jacksonville all the way.
Stephen J.
Oh, we got some big viewers now.
Jaguars. I feel safe going with the Jaguars again. Just can't go with the rookie quarterback week 1, even though I think that Anthony Richardson's going to be a very good quarterback and they're going to do some very creative. Give me the Jaguars right now, but that's something I'm going to have to sleep on.
I'm taking the Jaguars here. They're always tough on the D. Low scoring game. I take the under here as well. I'll go a little parlay. Jaguars in the under. 1 o'clock, Buccaneers at Minnesota Vikings. Vikings given 6.
Vikings, 13 wins last year, quietly, right? They lose Dalvin Cook to Stephen J's Jets. He left. They cut him for money purposes. But they also gained Brian Flores as defensive coordinator. Maybe he put some screws to the defense there, and they could be another 10, 11, 12, 13, probably 10, 11, 12 win team again. So I say I have the Vikings all the way.
Stephen J., I have the Vikings here, and I believe I won't hold to it, but that might be my knockout pick for week 1.
Well, that won't be my knockout pick. What was the spread, Doc Holiday?
6.
6. Give me the Bucks getting 6. I think Baker Mayfield, week 1, is going to come out flying red hot. The Vikings defense only got worse, and it was bad last year. This is a team that their point differential was in the gutter last year. So give me Baker Mayfield week 1. The Buccaneers are going to have a long season, but week 1, give me Baker. And they'll have something to prove for just 1 week. So I'm taking the Bucks over the Vikings, who are going to be the biggest drop-off this year.
And Don O'Grady watching from Philadelphia. We haven't gotten to the Eagles yet in the quick pick, but they did some big things in the offseason, and that's the Giants and the Cowboys' big worry. Got to be the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's go Titans at Saints. Saints with given 3.
Saints are a team that quietly, Derek Carr, if he shows that it was not his fault in Las Vegas, but Josh McDaniels, Derek Carr can have a big year this year. We got Chris Olave at the wide receiver spot. We got Jamal Williams as the running back now with Kamara on suspension. Michael Thomas is back. People are drafting him in fantasy.
Don't do that.
Saints.
All right, Stephen J. Titans, Saints.
Titans are a very well coached team. I think Mike Vrabel can only take them so far. You said the spread was how much, Doc?
3.
I feel like you got to go with the Saints against the Titans team that's just kind of searching for any type of talent on their roster. So I have to go Saints here.
And I go Saints at home as well, given the 3. Even though I kind of like the Titans some of the weeks. Flashy ball club. 49ers at Pittsburgh Steelers. This is a big one. And Steelers at home getting 2 points. Stephen J.
2 points is surprising, especially for a team that was a quarterback away from maybe going to the Super Bowl last year in the San Francisco 49ers. Obviously, Vegas, are they playing tricks? Are they wanting you to take that Pittsburgh line at 2? I might be a sucker for it. You know, this is in Pittsburgh, correct, Doc?
In Pittsburgh.
So a San Francisco team going into Pittsburgh, week 1, Kenny Pickett and Brock Purdy, both second-year quarterbacks, great defenses. It's going to be a tight, close game. How's everyone doing? We got more fans here at the Villaroma.
How are you?
I do think that 2 is a very surprising number. I feel like that makes you want to pick the Steelers, but I'm going to go Steelers.
And I'll go Niners here, Bobby. I'll go 49ers coming to Pittsburgh. The temperature is going to cool down from the high temperatures it is right now as the next days come forward. Even maybe a little rain on Sunday in Pittsburgh. You never know. But I think San Francisco likes the cooler weather. They'll come down into Pittsburgh and just rout them out. I think that line is a joke. 2 points.
Apparently, my guy Doc here has been spending too much time with the horses because he doesn't realize that Kittle and Bosa could be out on Sunday. That's why the line's so close. Pittsburgh all the way.
Wow. All right, let's go. Cardinals at Commanders. And I still don't know why they're called the Redskins in honor to the Indian Nation. Cardinals at Commanders. And Commanders -7.
Commanders giving the Cardinals 7 points.
7.
Cardinals are going to have a very rough year.
Cardinals favorite?
No, the Redskins are the favorite.
Redskins.
The Commies?
The Cardinals 7. The Cardinals have a brutal year. But week 1, it's crazy, right? Something's just telling me, go Cardinals. Redskins, Sam Howell, his first
They're getting Scotty?
Is he going to come out guns blazing first game? I don't think so. They might be a little conservative with Sam Howell under center. So there's a good chance for this Cardinals team to ground and pound. I think it's going to be a very high usage game for James Conner.
And you know what? We just mentioned before about the knockout / survivor pool and always going against the Cardinals. You can't do that this week. There's no guarantee that the Commies are that much better than the Cardinals. We don't know just yet. So you can't just automatically put, Commies for your backup pick because it's like week 1 is like Tatooine. Anything can happen.
I know one thing. I need a shower after this live. We are sitting here in the Clam Bar. As nice a smell as you think that is, have public pool in the Clam Bar.
Birds are circling around us.
But I just got
vultures are circling around the stock. It's making me a little nauseous, just like Bobby Blackjack's week 1 picks.
we have to wrap this up very, very soon, just in a couple of minutes. I just had a phone call from the owner of Villaroma, Mr. Paul Carlucci, the vice president of Villaroma, and he was giving me his picks for this weekend. So we'll share them with you at another time. But he really loves the Giants and the Jets this weekend, and we'll share Paul's picks. But let's go real quick. Packers at Bears.
Ooh.
Bears -1.
The Justin Fields coming out party.
We won't dive into what that means, but I'm going with the Packers.
I'll go Bears here. I got to go out on the limb.
I'm going Bears. I think Justin Fields has a new weapon out, DJ Moore, a couple new running backs, a good rookie running back, a couple defensive additions. Bears, baby. The Bears.
Raiders at Broncos. Broncos minus 3.5. When's the last time the Broncos were favored?
Russell Wilson is done. You've heard it here again. He's done. He might have a decent game or two, but he'll be a bench quarterback next year. Raiders, baby.
Broncos.
Win, baby, win.
Broncos.
And I'm going Raiders here. It's a big time. It's at Denver. That's in Colorado, of course. Saturday, it's a big game in Colorado with the college. So that's a big weekend in Colorado. And love to go Colorado's way both days, but maybe not.
I don't know which smells worse. Where we're at right now or Russell Wilson's quarterback play.
Let's go. Dolphins at Chargers. Chargers minus 3.
Dolphins, I believe his name's escaping me. Their big acquisition in the defensive backfield is out. Jalen Ramsey's out for a few weeks. I picked almost the whole Chargers offense in my one big league last night in fantasy. So Chargers.
I go Dolphins.
And I'm going Dolphins here too. In that their starting quarterback just might go down. And who comes in? Mike White. Eagles at Patriots. Eagles. And only giving 4 points to the Patriots. This confuses me. This Eagles, they're the touted Super Bowl winners preseason. Everybody's picking them. I don't know about this game, Stephen J. Real quick.
Give me the Pats.
I had somebody actually. I read somewhere a couple days ago. They have the Pats at 10-7 over the Dolphins finishing in the year. Now, quick question: Who starts? Mac Jones or Mike White? If they're in competition at quarterback.
I say Mike White, definitely. Mike White. This is a proven 300-yard passer. Susceptible to injury, yes. This guy, he's got another year under his belt, and he got the contract to go to Miami. Let him prove himself, Coach.
What's up, Kurt Valenti, K&K Sports Show on Sirius Sports, and also his high school show as well, on High School Sports. What's up, Kurt?
All right, Rams at Seahawks. We got to go to bingo. Rams at Seahawks. Seahawks minus 5.
Seahawks.
I go Seahawks here. I agree with Stephen J. They're at home. Some home teams got to win on day one. Seahawks.
Rams and the Cardinals are going to be fighting for the worst team in the NFC, maybe in all football this year.
So don't pick the Rams week 1 in your knockout is what Bobby's saying. And let's go nighttime. Cowboys, Giants. We already have the picks.
Give me the G, man.
I'm going to be on the patio yelling my ass off. My neighbors haven't seen me all summer. I'm going to make up for it in one night, Sunday night.
So let's real quick mention our sponsor, Eddie Edge of Edge Remodeling, Franklin Square, Long Island, and the surrounding area, called Eddie Edge. The best work, whether it's brand new or refurbished, that's the company to call. Eddie Edge. I guarantee it.
Maybe a clam bar. Who knows?
And he's a big 49ers fan. Eddie, we're rooting for your Niners. I don't know how the Niners will do when they come up against the Giants or Jets, but Eddie, we love you, buddy.
All right, that's it. We're out. These
We're
guys
out,
got to do
Russ.
bingo. I got to jump in the pool. I got to pack up. We'll see you guys next week.
All Point Sports Week 1.
Yeah.